We're continuing on Shulchan Aruch or Achak. The regular haftarah of Shabbat is elsewhere. The same is with Sos Asis B'Hashem is in Yeshayahu in Perek Samech Aleph. So inevitably you have to roll the Navi, and this is the topic that we have been speaking about. And Nimchot Beyadam, that's the minhag to do, and you don't have to stop the minhag. Says the Chafetz Chaim in Mishna Berura, Tama minhag. The reason for the minhag that even though after kama pa'amim mitra mishu minavi lenavi, even though that sometimes is rolling from one navi to another, still would be mutar mishum Talmud hayu kol asfarim nichtavim begilayon. All of the sfarim were written in a gilion, ve'hayu srichin lishhot begilila, and they had to wait until you roll it from one sefer to another. It would take time, and the still they would do this. Nowadays that we have them in a book way, in a kuntres, in like a pamphlet type of a book format, the way we have them now, it's not such a big deal to have from one navi to another. You could quickly go from one navi. Nowadays we have them all printed back to back, so it certainly does not take any time. You could find you could put a siman, a paper, inside the book, and you don't have to roll anything in order. You could just open from one place and close the other place, and in one short second you are in the new place. Even if it's from one end of Nach to the other end of Nach, still we would do it in just a matter of a second. So therefore, says the Chafetz Chaim, we do not consider this as a hefsek, and the same would be with the pasuk rishon and pasuk acharon by haftarav machar chodesh. It would be the same halacha as well. Now, the Shulchan Aruch writes, and this is something common, it's in next saif, in saif gimel, as follows: En golelin sefer Torah besibur mipenei kivod hatzibur. You're not supposed to be rolling sefer Torah in public, in the tzibur, in the middle of a shul, because not kavod. People are waiting, and then the gabbai forgot to roll it from one parasha, from the parashat Amalek on Purim to parashat Tzav, that it should be read later on. It's going to be a tircha de sibura. So therefore, you don't want to do that. Says the Shulchan Aruch, "Ve'im en la'em ela sefer Torah echad." But if you have only one sefer Torah, and you have two parashiyot. You have, for instance, Shabbat Zachor, right? Parashat Zachor. You have to go all the way from Parashat Vayikra was this year, right? And this is good because it's Shana Me'uberet. If you didn't have Shana Me'uberet, it would be 4 weeks earlier, right? So there's more to roll. And we go all the way to Kitet Zein Dvarim for Parashat Zachor. So what are you going to do? You only have one Sefer Torah, and you have to do the regular week's parasha, and also you have to do Parashat Zachor or any other parasha. So says the Shulchan Aruch in that case, Golelin ve'idachek kavod hasibur. You have to do what you have to do, and the kavod hasibur would be pushed away. People would be understanding, hopefully, that this is the situation in which you are, and therefore there's no other way around it. There's no problem, technically speaking, if the gabbai has to prepare things from Erev Shabbat and he forgot. It's not the end of the world, because what you could do is that once you are reading the first parasha, as long as the first parasha is ready for Parashat HaShavua, the second one could be rolled and prepared during the course of the reading of the first parasha, first Sefer Torah, and that's fine. It's not considered a lack of kavod sibur, because they're not waiting for anything. The kavod sibur is not that the Sefer Torah has to be ready. The kavod sibur is they should not be waiting when you prepare the Sefer Torah. So therefore, if you're preparing it once the first Sefer Torah being read, that's fine. There's no prohibition. There's nothing against that whatsoever. Now, the Mishna Berura says, "V'yoter tov" is best. כמו שנהגים נטש, קוראים מחפשים שאומרים הקהל פסוקי דזמרה. Nowadays, if the Gabbai forgot, he comes early. Once they start Baruch She'amar, he right away fixes everything. He doesn't wait until Kriyat Torah. Uchtekatav, Rosh Katav Darkei Moshe. That's the minhag, says the Mishnah Berura. Now, the day that you read 3 Sifrei Torah, and you only have 2 Sifrei Torahs available in the shul, is best, as the Kaf HaChaim writes, that when you are reading the 2nd Sefer Torah, they should roll the first one, and in that one you should do the Kriyat Torah, the reading of this 3rd Sefer Torah. That's the best way. Now, they write in the name of Mordechai Eliyahu that the best is that they should prepare the Sefer Torah already from Erev Shabbat or Shabbat before Tefillah. You don't want, the people are saying Baruch She'amar and the Gabbai is getting up there, especially for, those who have the rimonim and it's going to make noise, and it's not a proper thing. The Chatchila, a person should be doing Chacham Enah Berosho. That's the job of the Gabbai. To be there before, and Erev Shabbat you come, you prepare everything, you make sure everything is set to go for Shabbat morning. Now, מפני כבוד הציבור שיהיו מצפים ודוממים לכך. כבוד הציבור is that they're going to stand idly by waiting for the Sefer Torah to be rolled. That's not considered kavod. Now, if by mistake you took out the wrong Sefer Torah, meaning the Sefer Torah is rolled, you have a Sefer Torah ready to go, but the Gabbai looked away for a second, and the guy took the wrong Sefer Torah and put it up there, and now they're ready for doing Hagbaha, and you see it's in Bereshit instead of in Dvarim, right? Hashem Yirachem. So what do you do, right? You took the Chatan Bereshit Torah. So what are you going to do now? So it says, the Kaf HaChaim, you should not take the Sefer Torah back in and take the right one out. That would be the easy solution. Just take it down and say wrong Sefer Torah. It's not pasul. You're not saying Chasu Shalom is pasul, but it's going to look like it's pasul when you take the Sefer Torah back in. So says the Kaf HaChaim, do not return the Sefer Torah. You keep that Sefer Torah that you took out, and you just roll it, and people have to swallow their tongues and try to have like a mini shiur over there until the Gabbai fixes the Sefer Torah, and that's what Chacham Ovadia writes. Other people write as well. That's a simple, basic minhag that exists, pretty well accepted. So it says Maran in Sif Dalit, En Korin, starting next Sif, En Korin la'adam echad b'shnei sifrei Torah. You're not supposed to call the same person up to 2 aliyot in 2 different sifrei Torah. Mishum Pekamo, because it looks like the first Sefer Torah was not good enough, right? Mishum Pekamo Shirishon. But you could have 3 different people going up to 3 different Sefer Torah. Kegon Rosh Chodesh Tevet, Shchal Yod Shabbat, when you have Rosh Chodesh Tevet and Chanukah. The 6th day of Chanukah, Shabbat Chanukah, for us to be Rosh Chodesh, then you have 3 Sifrei Torah out, and in that case, you'll be taking 3 people. You could take 3 people up to the same, back-to-back aliyot, and it could be 3 different people. Leka mishum pegam is not an issue. So it says the Mishnah Berura b'shnei Sifrei Torah, ben b'inyan echad uben b'shnei inyan. Doesn't make a difference if it's 1 inyan to more than 1 inyan, no problem. The din ha'u shekorin למפטיר בספר אחר, הנגלל מכבר ומוכן לאותו מקום, כדי שלא יצטרכו לגלול בסיפור את ספר הראשון, וכנ"ל, אין לקרוא למי שעלה באחרונה שיעלהו גם כן למפטיר. If someone got משלים, got שביעי, you should not be calling him also for maftir in Sefer Sheni, Even if there is nobody else that could actually read maftir properly, still you should not be doing that. Because that sounds like you are disgracing the first Sefer Torah, saying, "Oh, that was not good enough. I have to go to another Sefer Torah, get an aliyah by a better Sefer Torah." It's not nice. But if you want to call someone for maftir that already got aliyah in earlier aliyot, you got shlishi, you got revi, you got chamishi, the Magen Avraham says there's not a problem, because doesn't look like you are disgracing the first Sefer Torah. The pegam is only relevant if you are calling them up back to back together. But if you had even one aliyah in between, you got shishi, someone got mashlim, and now you getting again, the shishi is getting in second Sefer Torah or getting maftir, that's going to be completely fine. And that's fine. Bach says doesn't make a difference how many people were in the middle, still will be considered asur. Rabba also says, and the same thing as halacha, and Kaf HaChaim seems to be stringent over here, like the Rabba and the Bach as well, and even Chacham Obadia is not so happy with this. Chacham Obadia says you're not supposed to be getting a aliyah in two different Sefer Torah, even if you were not immediate. Even if you got chamishi and now you want to get maftir in a different Sefer Torah, you should not be doing that either. So it says, Chafetz Chaim, how about Chatan Bereshit and Chatan Torah? Now the Simchat Torah, Misaded Ha'Eli Rabba Yesh La'akel Baze Kama Gan Avraham. The Rabba himself is lenient when it comes to Simchat Torah, that you could be lenient like Magen Avraham, the Mutar Liklor Chatan Bereshit, Misha'ala Kvar B'Sefer Torah Rishona, Mahmad, the Yesh Lo Od Senifim La'atir Sham. Someone wants to buy Chatan Bereshit. He always buys Chatan Bereshit, right? So Chatan Bereshit is in the next Sefer Torah. And now somebody has gotten him an aliyah in first Sefer Torah also. So it says, Ya Rabba, that's fine. He has other reasons also to combine for leniency, and even though the Kaf HaChaim writes that from Maran Shulchan Aruch, you see not like that. From Maran, you see that there's no real difference to be lenient by Simchat Torah. Still there are those who are mekel, and at the end of the day, Kaf HaChaim says, because Maran Shulchan Aruch seems to be stringent, you should not be mekel even on Simchat Torah. And it says that's the minhag. The minhag is, by us the Sfaradim, even on Simchat Torah, we don't go up to two Sifrei Torah. So that's why it's best to always sell those shuls who sell Chatan Torah, Chatan Bereshit, Chatan Meorah. You sell all those first. This way everyone knows what they got, right? And because sometimes you have like a guy that wants really to get an aliyah and Simchat Torah, but he's not sure if he's going to be outbitten for Chatan Bereshit, Chatan Torah. So if you wait for them, then people don't know. They may want to buy other aliyot, but if you first auction off those important aliyot, those popular, I should say, aliyot, then people know where exactly they stand. It will actually help the situation in a halachic way as well. So says the Mishna Berura, Shlosha gavri b'shlosha sefarim, ve'uadin tere gavri b'tere sefarim. Same would be two people in two Sifrei Torah. Ve'mirtza rishon ma'ashlosha likro b'sefer Torah shlishit. If the first one wants to also read the third Sefer Torah for maftir, Talia bePelukta de Bach u'Magen Avraham, same thing applies, same machloket as Bach and Magen Avraham would apply here as well, and therefore, lechatchila, as we said before, should be machmir, and Rosh Chodesh that falls on Shabbat. Shulchan Aruch said that כגון ראש חודש טבת, שחל להיות בשבת, which have 3 ספרי תורה, לקה משום פגם. Then you don't have a problem. שאחד קורא בעניינו של יום, the first person reads the פרשת השבוע, second one reads ראש חודש, third one reads חנוכה for מפטיר, and that's not a problem of פגם, אפילו בעניין אחד, even if it's the same topic. והאם בפרי and take a look at פרי מגדים and פרי חדש, that they discuss this further. That really concludes our Siman Kuf Mem Daled over here. Next Siman is going to be a very interesting topic of translating the reading of the Torah that was done in the time of Chazal, and whether or not nowadays is something acceptable, and the ramifications that has on our Kriyat Torah. Bezrat Hashem, we'll discuss those in the days to come. Chazak u'Baruch.